Hello, it's me, and happy reading rush. Today is the first day of the reading rush. It's actually like midnight right now, so it's 12:16 p.m. So I was up late. I was doing some writing. I'm working on this writing project thing that I'm excited about. I've been enjoying writing the chapters and was staying up writing that, so I didn't want to start this vlog until I finished that chapter because I don't know how much I'm going to update that story this week. But yeah, let's jump into my TBR. Just to remind you, if you didn't watch my TBR video, you could check it out, but I'll jump into my TBR and hopefully most of the challenges. I'm going to try to remember most of the challenges. I guess somewhat changed things up a little bit. Like, I still have like all the books that I mentioned in my TBR plus some other ones, so we'll see. I don't know I'm doing the first book I touched thing yet. We're going to get to that sometime during the week. I mean, like, for doing the first book I trust, I just touched Gathering Darkness at midnight tonight, so that could count. I'll think about that. So, as for TBR switch-ups, I have added Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren to my TBR just because I'm currently on page 140, 141. I wasn't reading a lot this past week, so I wanted to finish reading this book, and so it's on my TBR. It will be my first read of the readathon. I would like to finish this hopefully sometime today. Then we have Gathering Darkness by Morgan Rhodes, which counts for the challenge of you wanted me to read more of. This book is fantasy or high fantasy, which I don't read a whole ton of. It's something I definitely want to read more of, and it's something I do enjoy. This is also the third book in the Fallen Kingdom series. And then also we have Maybe Now by Colleen Hoover, which is the sequel to Maybe Someday. This is new adult, which again I don't read a whole ton of. I've read, I think a few new adult books now, Maybe Someday being one of them, and I think Better Than Perfect was new adult. I would like to read more in this genre. Then we have Read a Book Outside of Your House, and for this I'm doing Listen to Your Heart by Casey West, which I'm going to try to read first thing tomorrow morning when I wake up, but I'm going to be reading this book entirely outdoors. So I'm just going to be sitting outside, like on the porch. That's what I'm counting as outside of my house, as long as I'm not indoors. That's what I count as outside, so I'm going with that. Then we have read a book that takes place outside of your continent, and this I'm going with Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon. This is a reread for me, but I want to listen to the audiobook version of this now because now they have audiobooks, and when I first read this book they didn't have audiobooks, and they're Scottish narrators for the Scottish characters, which like I'm really excited to hear some like male Scottish voices narrate the male characters, though I haven't got to their perspectives yet, and that's like not until like I think end of book 3. It's a series I want to read, get back into, and then finally finish because I read the first 2 books a few years ago, and I just want to get to the series, finish the series because it's a good time. And then the next challenge is to read a book that a movie was based on, but you've only seen the movie, you haven't read the book for it. And for this I'm going with Lemonade Mouth by Mark Peter Hughes. I'm so glad I was into Disney as a child because there was a couple movies that I watched on Disney Channel that I did not know were inspired by books, and Lemonade Mouth is one of them, along with I think Avalon High and Geek Charming are the other ones that I'm aware of. There could be more, I just don't know of their existence. This is the one they had available at my library, so I decided to pick this one up. I'm excited to read the book because I honestly, like, I watched the movie so many years ago, I honestly don't remember it that well, like, at all. I have, like, little to no memory of the movie, so this will just be reading it with fresh eyes, seeing what the book's like, and then comparing it back to the movie. I know there's a ship in this book that did not happen in the movie, so, like, I'm also hyped to see that. And I'm gonna rewatch the movie because it's been a while. We have Read a Book with that starts with the word the, and for this I'm going with The Upside of Falling by Alex Light. It's a YA contemporary fake dating romance, and that's like all I know about it. We have Approximately by Jen Bennett is the next book, which counts for the challenge of read a book that is the same color as your birthstone. I went with this one, but that might change. I might still read this book during the week, but that actually might change. I've been borrowing audiobooks and stuff from Libby, and I currently have Beach Read out, which would count for the challenge of read a book with the color that's the same color as your birthstone. Beach Read is yellow-ish, which is kind of the topaz color, so I'm going with it. I might use Beach Read for that because I have that out for 6 days, so I will, I think, start listening to the audiobook hopefully tonight, and I hopefully will end up enjoying this book. I've heard a lot of people really liked this book, and it's been getting a lot of hype on BookTube. I hope that I also am one who also really enjoys this book. And I think that's the main gist of my TBR. I mean, things could change. I'm gonna head to bed and I'm going to pick up Josh and Hazel's and read this till I get tired. And I will update you guys when I wake up with more of an awake update.
She said this. I promised I wouldn't cry, but I felt like I'd been shoved off a best in the carpet. A tab hung from me with an address scribbled in the same unmistakable handwriting as the chicken scratch on the envelope. Dad's. See which. You always desperately wanted to please her, both because you had the sense that no one had loved and admired you so truly before, and he sits back as need be to help you brainstorm / hash out plot details / whatever it takes to help bring more of your beautiful words and unparalleled smooth.
Good morning. It's like 10 a.m. Last night I made some progress on Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating. I'm currently on page 222 or so. Basically, it follows these two characters, Josh and Hazel. They end up meeting and becoming like best friends, but they like always think that nothing's like ever going to happen between them, especially because Hazel, like whenever she has like, I don't know, just talked to him or something in general, like back in college, she like extremely embarrassed herself. So she's like, well, I'm not going to be, like, hot and attractive to, like, this guy. Like, it's just not going to happen. The two of them start setting up each other up on these blind double dates, but they go on these dates together. But none of them ever work out, and they end up just, like, hanging out afterwards, just the two of them. And then, you know, like, weaves into something more. I've read two other Christina Lauren, which is The Honey Don't List and The Unhoneymooners. The Unhoneymooners, I think I gave, like, a 3.5 or 3.75, I think. I think it was a 3.75. And I gave The Honey Don't List a 3-star. This one is definitely my favorite Christina Lauren as of right now, which doesn't really surprise me at this point, honestly. Like, I kind of expected that this one would be my favorite. I think at this point I'm probably going to give it a 4.5. I think it's pretty good. I definitely enjoyed it. I think Josh and Hazel are cute, and I like them together, and I like their relationship a lot. I think I was expecting something a little bit different. It is a best friend relationship technically because they are just best friends and like they do friend zone each other for a bit of the book, but from my understanding I thought it was gonna be like one of those things where like they were best friends when you jump into the book, and I guess I was wrong about that, which is not complaining about anything because like I've read a book like that before and I gave it 5 stars. Speaking of which, it does remind me a lot of Better Off Friends by Elizabeth Eulberg, just like I guess the adult version of that, because you see when they meet at the beginning of the book and then like, you know, like their friendship, not like your traditional best friend relationship, but it does give you those vibes. I like it a lot so far. This is solid. I'm enjoying it. I would like to finish this today, hopefully. I'll be doing soon here. And then I also picked up Beach Read this morning, and I'm like 30 minutes into it, so like I'm not like a whole ton of the way through it. I'm listening to the audiobook of that while, you know, like doing other things, and so far it's good. I don't really have like a lot of opinions to tell you because like I'm at the very beginning of the book. I definitely like it, and I think I'm going to enjoy it, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I want to enjoy this. I also brought Listen to Your Heart down here because I might get dressed and go read outside. I know, like, realistically I could just like use like a manga or something, get that done and out of the way, but I committed to this challenge last year. I'm committing again, and I'm going above and beyond more than I need to. Plus I just need an excuse to read this book, and this is the only one I have. So I've done it once before, I can do it again. But you saw me making my coffee. If you're wondering how I make my coffee in the morning, because I didn't really show you that, I have this hot chocolate right here, and then I have this Bailey's, here it is, coffee creamer. I prefer the vanilla one the most, but like they're all really good, and just put like a little bit of it in because like it's really sweet, so if you put a lot it's like way too much. I think I'm going to watch some YouTube and then jump back into reading.
And I thought up this idea of a mashed potato book. So basically, I was like, it's a book that you've been meaning to read for a really, really long time, but you keep putting it off for God knows what reason.
It's now 12 p.m. It has my clock back there. 12 p.m. I've made some progress on Josh and Hazel's, not like a whole ton. I'm on page 246. It's like 306 pages. So I have like 50 pages left to go, so I'm like almost finished this book. This was my first book I completed during the reading rush, but not the one that I read fully because I started this like a week ago. It just took me like the first like 50 pages took me like forever to get into this book, and I don't know why that was, but it just happened. It took me like forever to read. And then I've been reading the rest of it, but you know, slowly but surely I'm getting distracted by other things, but now I'm finally getting down to it because I have to return it tomorrow, so I just need to get this done in general. There was a reading thing, whatchamacallit, the live reading thing on the Reading Rush Instagram, so I participated in that, and then they mentioned they're gonna make ramen after, so I was like, I'm gonna have it for lunch. Sure, why not? That's what we're doing here. I don't think I might have had this Great Value one before. I usually have the Mr. Noodles one. Chat about the book while I'm doing other things. The book is good, it's cute. I think it's not exactly everything I want it to be, and I feel like right now things are just like, I don't know, happening for the sake of happening because they needed to fill pages, and I don't know, we needed some kind of drama, see like if they actually are going to get together. You know, like, I don't know, it seems pretty obvious at this point, but I mean, it's Christina and Lauren, I just feel like they always get together for the most part in the books. It's really cute, I like that. Excuse microwave noises in the background. My plan is to eat this, watch some people's Reading Rush videos, whatever that may be, mostly TBRs at this point because it's the first day. I relate to Hazel a lot as a character, just like how she talks a lot, and I guess it somewhat speaks her mind and can ramble. I relate to that part of Hazel. She's a fun character, and then Josh is also like really sweet. I relate to things that he says too a lot. I think I'll tell you more later on once I finish it. So something I wanted to do this week, there's no not video challenge really. There's like, I guess like a few you can put in your reading vlog. So with that being said, I feel like, I don't know, I want to spice up my vlogs for this week just to make them more entertaining. I don't know in what ways I'm going to do that every single day. Something I would like to do is to make like a food inspired by a book in some capacity. So for Josh and Hazel, I feel like there was a scene where they were eating together, but like I don't remember like what the heck they were eating. I don't know what I'm gonna do for this. There's two other books that like I have on my TBR this week that I already like have like ideas for. Like Alex, approximately, I could make popcorn because she's a film buff and works at a movie theater, so popcorn is excellent. And lemonade mouth, I think that speaks for itself. Lemonade, obviously, though I don't have lemons, but I don't know, maybe I can get some lemons. We have started the Reading Rush strong this year. I have finished Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren, and I think I'm going to give it a 4.5 like I told you guys originally. It's definitely my favorite Christina Lauren. I just thought it was so cute. I love a good friends to lovers story. I feel like it's not your average friends to lovers story, but like it was still cute, and I still quite enjoyed it. I liked the relationship. I thought they were really cute together. I feel like I don't really have much to say. I feel like I've kind of given you all my thoughts already. 4.5, there wasn't really anything towards the end of the book that I felt I needed to express. But of the 3 Christina Laurens I've read, this one I'd probably recommend to you the most. I thought I was going to give 5 stars, and it got close, but just didn't quite. It has to go a bit more above and beyond, and I guess this didn't, sadly, but it was still really good, so I would highly recommend this book. So, now that I've finished that, I get to pick up another book in my TBR. So my thoughts is I'm probably going to pick up Lemonade Mouth sometime today. I don't know when, but I would like to make a dent into this sometime today. Obviously, Listen to Your Heart by Casey West. I'm thinking about going outside sometime soon here to do that, but I'm going to do my Bookstagram picture first. I'm going to, I guess, decide which book I'm using for that. So after staring at books for like 10 minutes straight, trying to figure out what I could do for what, and there wasn't a lot that I can realistically do. We're gonna go with All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, which ironically, last year, my first photo for the Reading Rush, I used Holding Up the Universe by Jennifer Niven. Here's her other book. I haven't read either of them, but I think we could make some, I don't know, I feel like this one is partly like the easiest one to do. I think we're gonna do this one. Hello. So, it is later on-ish. It's like 6:54 now. It's almost 7. I haven't really got any reading done since I last spoke to you guys. I have started Listen to Your Heart by Casey West, so I'm currently on page 34 of this. It's good so far. I'm intrigued. I'm excited to read more. It's getting later in the evening, so I'm probably going to go back out again and continue reading more of this until I want to stop. And after that, I'm going to pick up Lemonade Mouth by Mark Peter Hughes, and that's my reading plans for the night. Alright, so it is 9:26 p.m., so I'm going to end this vlog here in a second. So I didn't pick up Lemonade Mouth at all, but I'm going to try to pick this up tonight. Also, along with that, I have made progress in Listen to Your Heart's the last book to you. I'm now on page 112, I believe. Tell you a bit more, I guess, what this book's about in general. Basically, we're following this girl named Catherine who she wants to work at her parents' marina when she gets older. They like own this marina, and she's like planning on taking over it one day. And she ends up in this podcasting class, and she ends up becoming the host or co-host of the podcast. And it's like an advice thing. And I believe someone's gonna call in or email in, and they're trying to figure out who like this guy is. That's like a really vague, terrible synopsis, so I'm sorry. It's reminding me a lot of, I feel like there's like multiple books that's reminding me of it. It's reminding me of her other book, P.S. I Like You. For some reason I thought this was Hate to Love. It's not. I also thought the love interest was someone else, that it wasn't, and then my friend told me that's not who it is, and I'm like, good to know. But yeah, it reminded me a lot of P.S. I Like You, maybe with like the whole mystery aspect of like, who is this person that's calling? So I think kind of similar to that. And then obviously it's also reminded me a lot of Lucky Caller by Emma Mills, which I finished this a few weeks ago. Reminded me a lot of that just because I think they have like similar plot lines in a sense. Like this one, there's like a radio show at the school, and this one has a podcast, so those are very similar. They didn't do an advice one, this one did. They're very similar, so I feel like if you liked one of these books, you'd probably like the other one as well. So far, there hasn't been like a lot of the love story. Like we're still like, I don't know, like obviously it's being developed, but there hasn't been like a whole ton of it, probably because the main character is not thinking of the love interest that way. So in that sense, reminded me also of Lucky in Love by Casey West. Just because I feel like that book, I think they have like a similar probably like amounts of the romance. Lucky in Love was more, I guess, plot focused than romance focused. That's how I'm feeling so far about this book. I'm overall enjoying it, as I do every single Casey West book. I always enjoy her books. Like, there's not one I've like ever not enjoyed. She just, I don't know, has just something about her writing style just really connects and resonates with me. There's always something in the main characters I usually relate to. In this one, the main character is an introvert, which I strongly relate to because I'm also very much introverted. She's like, I hate people. I'm like, that's relatable. We also had a cool like family situation. I guess she thinks live with her cousins, or like her cousins are like next door to her, so she's really close with her cousins, which I think is really cool and unique. Yeah, there's a lot of great things that I'm really enjoying about this book, so I think it's gonna be great. It's gonna improve as the story goes on, and I'm excited to read more of it. That concludes the end of day 1 of the reading rush. Let me know how the reading rush is going for you. If you are making daily vlogs or are participating in the reading rush, let me know down below, because I'd definitely love to check those out. I finished a book today. I was like already on like page like 140 of this, but like I read like I think majority of this today. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow with a new update. Goodbye!